When I was younger, in my spare time, I enjoyed being a drawer of pictures. All these pictures you're seeing, I just copied off other great artists that I can only dream of being like. In reality, it's trash. It's garbage. There's so many great artists out there. Why look at my replicas? I don't consider these great or anything. I can't really draw well from memory or really at all. So I decided it was fitting for me, myself, to do an art review. I don't really think it takes some sort of trained eye or years of worthless art schooling to recognize good art. Art you don't like, art you like. To me, art is similar to movies. It's subjective. If I go up to you and say that your short film for your college final project sucks balls, you're not gonna cry. You're gonna punch me in the face because you don't care. It's your movie. Why should you care what I think? I have 320 YouTube subscribers, and I don't even understand most critically acclaimed films. I still consider Cars to be the best movie of all time. I've never even seen films like Fight Club. Just shows you that just because someone says it's bad doesn't mean it is. But everyone has different opinions these days, so who cares what mine is? There's people out there who say Jojo has bad art styling, and then there's people who praise Jojo day and night because of how unique it is. I think Jojo looks cool because it has a unique art style. But does unique always equal good? Kinda. Jojo gets talked about so much, but I don't even care. It has a unique art style. I don't care. These panels sometimes look like they took a face from a random SpongeBob episode where they exaggerate the face details like crazy. The hair makes no sense at all. The character models literally look like the embodiment of the Giga Chad sometimes. The colors pop so crazy though, it makes you want to see more. And I won't lie, Jojo's not my favorite all the time. It doesn't have my favorite paneling early on and stuff like Phantom Blood. I started reading Phantom Blood before even watching the anime because I thought I could speed through it faster to catch up with my psycho friend who watches shows at the speed of light. Yeah, if you're watching this, you know who you are. To be honest, the early manga is not my favorite. It's okay. It's like a 6 to 7 out of 10 at best. But I think people really go overboard with JoJo's art and how it looks goofy. If you say it looks goofy, just never talk again, because you'll turn around and say something like, this looks realistic. When exactly was the last time you saw a 15-year-old that looked like this? Right. So who cares if this 15-year-old has this tunnel-looking gold hair and also happens to look gay? I may be alone on this opinion, but please just hear me out. The author actually draws some of the most realistic-looking basic facial features. For example, the mouths and eyes. Even when they look like they let Russell Westbrook pick their outfits for some odd reason, I can still see these characters being real life. Maybe I sound mentally insane, I don't know. Looking back on this, I kind of do sound mentally insane. And I feel like some of the fun that goes into liking JoJo's art style is just accepting that it's weird. Like, who cares? The characters shouldn't look weird. Who cares? That shouldn't change how you think about the story. Honestly, it's all cringe. All manga's cringe. Who cares? Great Pretender is an anime, not a manga. We're talking anime now. I talked about this a while ago when I was popping on YouTube with about 20 views a video. Now that I'm popping with about 30 views a video, I thought I should cover it again just because it's that good. Like, seriously, that good. Great Pretender excels in its art more than any other anime I've ever seen, and I will stand by this take until I die. Now, the studio that released Great Pretender also has done a couple other somewhat famous works you may have heard of, like Evangelion and Gurren Lagann. I'm pretty sure you say it like Gurren Lagann, but I've heard people say Gurren Lagann. I don't think that's how it's said. I'm probably just friends with retards. But this show's approach to its art is really unlike any other anime I've ever seen. I know I talked a lot about JoJo's coloring and how its coloring really pops, but nothing is popping out like Great Pretender's art here. Andy Warhol, the one himself, he was the one who popularized this art style called pop art. Great Pretender takes great notes from Warhol here. They use a lot of pop art. That's pretty much the main bulk of their art styling. If you don't already know, Great Pretender's a story about con artists. They're trying to scam rich people. This show has a lot of money involved, very high stakes kind of show, and I think it's very fitting why they chose this color palette for a lot of their stuff. Most of the art that you'll see nowadays when you're watching an anime just looks like they use kind of the same colors. Like, it just looks like all copy and paste. Like, you can't look at My Hero and then go to Black Clover and then go to Boruto, the 3 anime I like to mess with the most, and say how trash they are, but you can't tell me that these just don't look like copy and paste of the same thing. I mean, heck, even go back to stuff like Attack on Titan Season 1. I love Attack on Titan, but but man, this early animation just looks so basic. I really wish more animes could do this kind of thing, and instead of stuff like Studio Ghibli, which puts out amazing, like actually amazing artwork and amazing art styled movies, but these don't come out every day. You're not watching these every week. But I'm just saying, like, you don't see stuff like Studio Ghibli every day, so I wish that more anime put time into their art and actually cared more about it than I feel like the anime does. All the stuff though I say though about the anime is not meant to reflect the manga, because I feel like all mangas do take so much more effort, and I think that creating a manga art style that really looks cool is just a tough thing, so I'm not trying to like knock all that stuff. One problem that I have is whenever I sit down and I try to draw something, I always get all caught up with it's not perfect. But I don't think people realize that art doesn't always have to be perfect. Take a look at one of my other favorites, which is Dore Dorhu, which is Dorhu I think I completely butchered the name, but I'm not good with my R's like that. It's a confusing title. But no, just take a look at some of these pages and tell me this doesn't look completely off the rails sketchy. And not sketchy like it looks bad. It looks good, but the way that they use the sketch marks in this are so sick. I love everything about this. I've never even read the manga, but I can get lost for minutes, let's face it, minutes before I hop back on Twitter or something. Like, I know it's all sketchy, but it just feels very rough and fits the aesthetic of this manga. It doesn't necessarily all translate over to the anime, which is why I think manga is still superior to animes that can really capitalize off that cool, unique looking art style. So does unique always equal good? Kinda.